going on, everyone? We're doing another Party Wagon podcast. I don't know what episode we're on. I've lost track at this point, but we're not in the 20s and we're not in the hundreds. I know we're somewhere around like 12 or 13. But switching things up a little bit today, we've got Brandon. Brandon, what's going on?
Hey everybody. I don't want to steal the spotlight from you and kind of tell what we're doing, but Mutant Mayhem trailer was just released today, and there's a lot of Party Wagon members that could not join, and I decided to step in as a substitute. So
Yeah,
I'm here.
yeah, we're not doing an Amazing Friends. We're just doing a normal weekly podcast. So why not? Yeah, Steven is still out for family, even though we did one episode last week. He'll probably be out for a little bit of time now, but we're going to try to keep the ball rolling, try to jump on a couple people, see what we can do. We'll just figure it out as we go along. As I've always said, we fly by the seat of our pants here. No plan. We just jump in and we just start talking. So, as Brandon said, yeah, Mutant Mayhem trailer started today, released the second one today. We're recording this March, Jesus, May 31st.
Just do it over.
Dude.
Yeah, this is really exciting, and the first one, I feel like it was meant to put your expectations in place and like let you know this is what it's going to look like. This is the feel of the characters and a little bit of silly. And then this one, I feel like is giving us what the story's about, and it's really exciting. Like I've watched it 3 times. I'm currently watching it right now as I'm talking to you in my little lower screen, and I still don't know what the story's about. But we can kind of talk about it, and but I'm excited. It looks really good from
Yeah.
even though I can't say what it's about.
Yeah, it's definitely looking great. I guess we'll just kind of talk about what I think it's about, and we'll go from there. So, we obviously know there's no Shredder, there's no Foot Clan. That's not. I mean, at least in the trailer, they're not showing any of that off. It looks like the main character villain is Superfly. No word if that's Baxter Stockman or not. If I was to guess, I'm wondering if it's a byproduct of Baxter Stockman or if it actually is Baxter Stockman going by a different name because like Bebop and Rocksteady, those weren't their names. That was their mutant name. So I'm wondering if Superfly is his mutant name. He's voiced by Ice Cube, and the original Baxter Stockman, I believe, was black. So maybe maybe there's a correlation there why they casted him as the voice to do that. Maybe it is Baxter. I don't know. But it sounds like after all the years, if it is Baxter, of being pushed around, they're finally making him like a main character, the brains, and the goal is to have the mutants take over the world and stop being shunned. So it's definitely one of those stories where they're the underdogs. They're the ones that are kind of shit on in society, but no one really knows of them. They're just going to kind of rise up and try to be prominent. That's what I got from it. And there's a couple of characters in that trailer we'll talk about here that in the Vintage series converted from bad to good. So I wonder if that dynamic's going to be played in this whole movie release.
Yeah, so there's a number of things that like another directions they could go for sure with this. Like it immediately screams like an X-Men plot line. Um,
Someone said that in the Party Wagon. I saw someone comment
really?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like hey, they're gonna go to a mutant academy because they can't be with the regular world. What would you do if you were regular, just normal person? And then there's like the factions of they're all mutants, but they're fighting, and they probably all want the same thing, because you hear Michelangelo longing for that, and then when you hear Superfly saying they're never gonna trust us, it's like the Magneto of the X-Men, and he's got a team of we're gonna get superiority, whereas like the X-Men wanted to be equals with humans. The 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 bad guys, the Magneto side, they were for like in dominating the humans.
Right.
So it's kind of I get that feel, and I don't mean to say that as like a cheap, like it's cheap that they're taking a storyline, but that's just like where my brain goes.
It's a pretty basic
And
storyline though. Like it's not that they're like cheating it. I know what you mean, but like, it's a pretty straightforward kind of story in my opinion.
yeah, and I'm going back through the box arts right now to try to see if there was a Baxter Stockman character, because I know there's a title card for him on the like when they announced the cast. There's a title
Right,
card
I
for
remember
Baxter,
seeing that.
and it's if they're gonna go the way that like he is not really if he is Baxter Stockman and he gets a mutant name, kind of like Michelangelo does in the 2012 show. It like the voice is different though,
Right.
so I don't know if the voice would be altered at all. It could be. It's a very big possibility that they could just change the voice too. And um, but yeah, I'm leaning towards he like Baxter was probably experimenting with something, and this guy was a product of his experimentation. And I don't know if that would take him away from the Fly game or if it's very intentional, regardless of what it actually is. Like clearly they chose a fly for a reason, and
Yeah.
it's either a tribute to Baxter Stockman or it is Baxter Stockman.
Right. Because in the trailer they show a lab and they're growing the mutants. They're not transforming people into mutants. So these are homegrown, like lab type characters. So maybe that's Baxter's lab. Maybe that's a thing he's working on. You know, it's a
Yeah,
possibility.
maybe he doesn't have the funding yet, and he'll get that when Shredder comes along, or I don't know, and he's just working out of I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, uh, part of me, and this is kind of like the X-Men conversation too, like one of the movies where the terrible movies where like Beast has a cure for becoming human. I wonder if that plot will come up. I know that was in the Bay sequel too. I think I've never seen
Yeah.
them.
They
Choose
visit
not
that a
to.
lot. Yeah. I was definitely in the
They
basic.
probably wouldn't do it then because I think they want to be as far away from that as possible. So that's we're probably safe on that storyline beat.
Yeah. They did that in the first Bay film because I
That was the
actually
first
watched
one.
it last month. Yeah. Uh, I was
I
like,
will watch those for the channel, but my heart's not ready for that yet. It's still not been enough time. I haven't seen it. I will eventually.
I'll openly say, after watching it again, after all these years, um, they're not as bad as people make them out to be
Okay.
when it comes to the story and what you watch. It's really when it really comes down to the issues with those, it's the fact that the first movie was um, the Megan Fox show. Like it was
Hmm.
like really around her, and
Hmm.
then the turtles. Obviously, everybody had the issues with the designs. The nostrils, they were so big and they were like
Yeah.
super size, and that is where the issues kind of in lie for the film. But overall, the storyline was good. The action sequences were good. The acting of the turtles, in my opinion, was pretty decent. And I'm trying to be optimistic here. I'm not saying they're great movies. Um, I'm saying that they're better than the third movie, but
Yeah.
and that's just the first one in general. The second one's much better. Second one's just fanfare. Definitely just built for the fans. They added Bebop and Rocksteady, just kind of
Um,
haphazardly threw them in there. But overall, I mean, they're not bad. They're not terrible. They're
yeah.
watchable. It's
I
like
will
watching
watch
the
them.
Transformers movies.
Yeah. I will watch them, and I mean that. I think like time heals everything, and I think that if that movie, and it's kind of like the Metroid critique for if you're a Nintendo fan, but we went so long without a Metroid game, and then they released a game called Metroid Prime Federation Force, and it was like a slap in the face, and it's like if that had come out today the exact same game, it probably would have been received differently because we've had two Metroid games and a remake since then. But like at the time, it was a slap in the face, and I think that's kind of like how I think about the Bay Turtle movies. Is that like had that come out while we had several Turtles things going on at one time, it'd be different. And I think maybe the show was going on, so I might be in the wrong here and making a dumb argument, but like I think the fact that like we had waited for a turtle movie and that's what we got is what like really hurt, and it's not like a bunch of man babies. But like had this movie come out now, it's like, hey, Mutant Mayhem's come out this year and Michael Bay's Turtles are coming out next year. Like, would it be as received as poorly? I don't know.
Right.
But I think timing's everything, and I think that was, I mean, it was doomed from the start with all the alien
Yeah.
storylines that were going to go on,
Yeah.
and
Which actually did make sense because the mutagen was Alien, Dimension
mhm.
X. Like it was always like that was the actual. They just worded it wrong. I
Yeah, I think they probably just didn't know the source material and they just said this and that's where it came from.
my
So
my funny go to for that, right, is like it's always something can be worse that can make something look better in the past. You know what I mean? Like things could be worse, and in a political sense, is the on running joke that I have, and I'm very very well up on my political science. Um, it's like how everybody loves George W. Bush, the W
oh yeah,
nowadays. Like
yeah,
everybody hated him, and then
yeah,
Trump comes along, ruin like it's like oh, it could have
yeah.
been worse, and everybody's like oh bless Bush's heart, bless his heart. Like it's so
Yeah,
funny to me.
it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that there's like the video of him sharing M&Ms with Michelle Obama at one of the funerals, and he's
Yeah,
painting like dog paintings now, and you're just like, oh, he's a lovable old man. But like
yeah,
back in the day, yeah, he was public enemy number one for most people, and
yeah.
I don't know.
He was clueless. But now it's just like looking back at it, things got worse, and you're like, I guess he wasn't that bad, but he was still pretty bad. That's how I look at it with the turtles. Like,
Yeah, I hear
you
that.
know, we got Rise, so
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the trailer is looking good. Characters, we got some characters in it. I did some posts in the Party Wagon. If you check it out, it's on. Actually, I made a Party Wagon Twitter finally. Uh, I hate Twitter, but I was like, I might as well just do stuff over there. Why not? Thank you everybody who's jumped on board already. That's you. But we got Genghis Frog. We got to see Genghis Frog. Not a fan of his design, but it makes sense. He's just a short, porty little frog. That's the way he looks. Looks dumb, which is Genghis Frog. We
Hmm.
got Mondo Gecko, which is voiced by Paul Rudd, which is pretty awesome. We got to see Ray Fillet, which is I think voiced by Post Malone, and his design's really cool. He's got like the goggle, like the human One Piece goggle over one of his eyes with a strap.
Oh,
And
I
I think
love
that's
it. I'm
really
looking at it
cool.
now. Yeah, I love
It's
that.
posted in the Party Wagon, so check it out. I see my dog's ear. Look at him, the little idiot back there. He must have just woken up from his nap. And there's Wingnut. Wingnut's in it. He looks like a bat.
He's little, right? From what I'm seeing here.
Wingnut looks very small, yeah. He looks like a small bat. Um, and then Scumbug. Scumbug looks awesome. And somebody pointed out, look at Georgie, look at this little idiot behind me. My dog just decided to wake up. Somebody pointed out Scumbug is wearing Rocco's shirt from Rocco's Modern Life. He's got a blue shirt with the little like the design all over it. Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
So if
yeah.
that's true, if that's like a Nickelodeon thing, I'm psyched. That's really cool. And I think that's all they showed in the trailer. Uh, Obviously, we haven't seen what you said. You said that they did Baxter Stockman. Anybody else that you think that we didn't see in the trailer based on the casting cards that they had? I don't have it ready to go.
Did you mention Leatherhead?
That's right. Leatherhead was not in the trailer.
He's there.
Well,
He's there.
he's in the spread, right?
Yeah, when
When they
it's
all
the
spread
five of
out.
them, or it's all yeah, it's that he's got his little night vision goggles on, and he's upright, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
yeah, we got that one. I remember in the spread, but we didn't get to hear him or really see him.
no,
A lot of people on the internet so far have been hyped on this. I went through some comment sections on IGN, the TMNT YouTube channel. Sorry, we're going to encompass it all. YouTube, Facebook, and the Party Wagon in general. I went through comments, and people are very excited. Like, overwhelming majority, I would say, are excited. And a lot of people have been commenting on how they are a fan of the voice acting for April O'Neil, which is a stark
yeah,
contrast to when we first saw the first trailer.
yeah. And like I said, earlier when I mentioned that it's almost like the first one was just setting your expectations, and it was almost like, hey, this is a kids movie. You're gonna appreciate it, but it's aimed towards the kids. But also like, here's April. It's gonna cause controversy. Here you go. And I think that was like it was like pulling the band-aid off, and then now it's like now you get to really appreciate everything about it.
Yeah.
And um, like like I don't really have an opinion on the April character. I'm more of like, let's see how it's executed and see how it goes.
Yeah,
I was the same thing with Little Mermaid, which if you're a Disney dork, I'm gonna be posting that review really soon. But the recasting of African American actor is fine for me as long as it's like
it's
done with
it's
like,
fiction.
yeah, as long as it's not done like, I'm sure part of it is for the agenda, but like I feel like if it's like if it doesn't affect anything and it helps include more people, perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Um,
I definitely agree.
but
She
but
looks
yeah,
like she looks like she's like she looks young in it, so which is fine, like because they're always young. And I mean, in the originals, she was obviously an adult and they were teenagers. Um, but she looks young in this, which has been a theme since 2012. She's been a
hmm
child, but she looks like she's a high school reporter, like not really a high school reporter, but like that's her thing. She wants to be able to do reporting. That's her
yeah,
dream, and you get that vibe when she has. There's a scene where she's talking about Superfly, and she's got like the board with the names on it with all the little lines and shit like that. That seems pretty cool. I'm okay with that. I like that dynamic. Uh, I I was a fan from the beginning. I was not even cautiously optimistic. I could tell by the way the lines were delivered originally in the first trailer that it was going to kind of hit. I think it was a good character, and then with the new lines and new dialogue, I liked it a lot.
yeah.
Speaking of, the one thing I've been seeing, I don't agree with it, but the only thing that people have been mad about this time has been the Jackie Chan Splinter voice because
What are they saying?
they say the voice sounds too Chinese for a Japanese character.
Okay,
That's what I'm hearing. Now
I'm
I'm gonna sound ignorant.
yeah, me too.
I don't I don't know the difference. If I was to think of any difference if someone was impersonating the accent, the a Japanese accent's a little more gruff, a little more oomph to it. Like I don't know. I think people might have the wrong idea. I think there might be stereotypes that we grew up with that we understand like what someone Japanese would sound like, um, and like and then I don't know if people are like, well, they shouldn't have cast somebody with a Chinese background for a Japanese character. Like I don't know. I don't care like about it. I love Jackie Chan. He's one of my favorite actors ever, and just everything he does, I'm just enamored by. And he's doing Splinter. Like I'm just happy we got Jackie Chan in a Turtles movie. Like that's just
Yeah,
awesome to me.
yeah. I'm not mad at all. I again like it might be my ignorance and maybe if there's like a Japanese subculture of TMNT that are really passionate about it, like I'd want to know about that. But if it's just like, sorry, the weebs, like I'm just like whatever, like I don't know.
Yeah.
But does it bother me? No. And I don't know. I think it's interesting. What I want to talk about Splinter is also everyone saw that flashback scene in the
With the
first trailer,
afro.
Afro, and I'm wondering. Like, I understand it was like if you break down that trailer, you see it's because in the same scene there's the baby turtles, so it's a flashback. But like for that to be the only Splinter scene, you got people like weirded out. Like, I don't know if weirded out is the right answer, but it gave them a perception of like Splinter's gonna have an afro in this movie when it was a
Yeah.
flashback. And but it looked like he had like white like he was almost bald. It looks like the hair is white, and he still has fur, but he's got like a balding spot. So that's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's funny because the one thing that put a kibosh on that was when the toys leaked, and he didn't have the hair,
Right?
and
Yeah.
like we all knew it was gonna be we all knew it was a flashback. Like why would you do like obviously the baby turtles made an appearance. Splinter,
Yep.
it could have been it could have been, well, it was, we know now, but it was a flashback. It was kind of just something for some, it was like one of those things where I think the only people that got mad about it were the people looking for something to get mad about.
Yep.
And that's one of the issues with the internet. You know, everybody, it's such an easy way to just feel some way and then not think and then just say it because it sounds buzzworthy. You know, it's your first
Yep.
hot take and you can just easily throw it out into the universe. You know, as I get older, I'm learning that's ridiculous. I read a
Yep.
Facebook memory. Everybody's going to get a kick out of this. Facebook memory from 12 years ago that said, what's built for a man but made for a woman, and in the comments I wrote the back of my hand.
Wow.
And I was like, those are just one of those things that's like a grandfather joke, a like my grandfather would have said that. And for some reason 12 years ago I thought that was a funny enough and appropriate to write as a Facebook post, the post out into into the universe, which I I've never felt that way, but like I thought it was funny, and it was not funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think it's funny
my
at all.
my Facebook memories popping up are always cringeworthy, even if it's not like something like that. It's just like this. I'm not the same person that I was 10 years ago. And
No, neither
and
am
let,
I.
let me give you some life advice, Party Wagon crew. You are not the same person you're gonna be with, like in 10 years. So if you're in your 20s and you're gonna get married, please wait because you are not the same person when you were 20. I lucked out. I got married at 25, and we just keep getting bigger, better every year. But I mean, like I was a dumb kid, and I'm just now starting to feel like an adult at 38. So like, take your time.
Yeah, I
Take your
second
time.
that. April and I are going to be together 10 years in August. We're not married. I wear a ring, but
Yeah.
we're not married. We've been together for so long. We just haven't done it yet. We've been engaged in 2015. It's been 8 years. I got engaged 2 years after we met. But yeah, I'm 36 now. We got together when I was 26, and I am 1,000% not the same person at
Yeah,
all.
like you're the okay. We're not having a marriage podcast.
We're not.
We can do an extra episode of that. But the other thing, while we're on the internet, a topic of internet, is just be nice. Like there's like I get it. You want some like internet clout and stuff by like ripping on people, but like let's just spread some positivity in the world, man, and like
Yeah.
channel your like just I don't know like when you're watching a movie, you're rooting for the good guys unless it's like a really awesome bad guy. But like for the most part, like you don't want to be the bad guy, so don't be a bad guy. Quit making people feel bad. All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about this.
Yep. I had to remove someone from the group last night. That was
Just don't get it, man. Just be
man.
nice.
It's just bad. Some people just go out of their way just to be jerks, and we saw a lot of that with this trailer originally. Not this trailer, the last trailer.
Yeah.
Um, but it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a
All
good
right,
time.
I do too. So I'm looking at Splinter, and I think these are eyebrows. I'm not sure what it is. But
Sorry, we're
yeah,
on
so like,
visual aid for y'all today.
yeah, he has like two white puffs. I don't know if it's eyebrows or what,
Probably
but yeah,
eyebrows.
yeah. So but yeah, that's I'm interested, and it seems like he's like feeble. Do you get that impression? Like it seemed
Yeah,
like he was like he trained them when they were kids, but now he's just like a verbal mentor.
I think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna get our standard Splinter arc where he will have his one badass moment where he's just absolutely
Hmm.
insane, and then he just goes back to like being old.
Yeah.
I think that's just what they're gonna go with. I did want to mention. I was watching the trailer and I saw there's a lot of action sequences in it. There's parts where they're
Hmm.
running, stuff's exploding, uh, and it got me thinking. Right. So not a lot of us. A lot of people are like, these aren't my turtles. There's a lot of those people out there like only OG series. Steven's actually like that. He only cares for the OG series, right? And the thing with that, I said this multiple times. The OG series sucks. It's
Totally.
not
I love
good.
it.
It's
I love
not
it. It's
good.
terrible. Yeah.
Um, it's my buddy Chris is calling me right now. I'm gonna have to call him back. It's not good. It's if you want to watch right now for like nostalgia reasons, I'm telling you, it's not good.
Yep.
It was definitely made for kids. It was made for this lysophilic, smooth brain kids, that just
It was made to
will
sell
watch
toys.
anything. It was made to sell toys. It really was. And watching watching what they showed, right? Obviously, we got that Into the Spider Verse feel, but some of those scenes kind of felt like classic Turtles, in my opinion. Like kind of ridiculous, over the top. They could jump super high. There's like the sliding down the light bulbs and stuff like that, like we saw. Um, but I got a little bit of a nostalgic feeling of classic Turtles. Now I know I just said classic Turtles was bad, but I I think that they did a good job of modernizing it for today's expectations. Expectations
Yeah.
are so goddamn high for movies now.
Yeah.
Marvel set everybody's expectations insanely high in general. Like,
They set their own expectations high.
yeah, right, yeah. But at this point, I think that's great. And then I also watched a scene from the new Into the Spider-Verse, the new
Yeah.
movie coming out in 2 days.
Oh
And
god.
I was like, let's compare that. Because originally, when I saw the first trailer, my fear was that it's going to be a bad ripoff. Like when you see like a CG movie, and then you see the CG movie as a series now, and it's obviously not the same amount of love and care, and it's
Hmm.
I thought that was going to be it, and not at all. Not even a blip of my on my mind now. It's like they are same style. One, in my personal opinion, I think Turtles might be more artistic, and
Yeah.
that's fine with me. I
I was
like what they
just
did.
noticing this when it shows Raphael really close up and there's like a light reflecting his eye, the shine is a squiggly mark. And I'm
Right.
like, I love this.
Yeah. It's
I
like a water
love it.
painting. They did they did a good job. They did a really good job with it. If I was to complain with those close-ups you're talking about, I really wish he wasn't missing a tooth. Like, like that bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. I know the braces is still a sore topic.
Yeah.
Hopefully Donatello created those or something for him or something. There's a backstory of that,
Right.
um, but no, yeah, the style I think is great. I still hate Raphael's pirate bandana. I know you don't care about that.
No, I don't mind it at
Um,
all.
it drives me crazy. But let's talk about like a scene that like made me audibly bust out laughing was when Mikey says, "Raph, you have a rage problem," and he's like, "Oh, it's not a problem." Like that
Yeah.
was like amazing, and I think Raph's your favorite. Raph is he's in my middle too. I don't know if it's top middle or bottom middle, but I think like he might be my favorite character in this movie based on what I've seen so far, and that's huge for me. Like this Raphael just seems like a little punk, and I can't wait to see what his mouth trouble gets into. Like I can't wait.
Yeah, I've always been a Raph fan. That's always been me, personally. Um, like just kind of how I conduct myself. Definitely, definitely kind of a hothead, but um, but yeah, big fan of Raph, in general. But yeah, that tooth bothers me.
Uh,
Bandana's fine. Braces don't bother me at all on Mikey. The only thing that actually like when I say bothers me, it's like something I don't like. It doesn't mean that it's not like I'm going to be mad about it, but Donatello's voice, um, that's
Still
just
not
not.
grilling you yet.
It's too high pitch, for
Yeah, I'm
me.
fine with it.
I don't like it. But if they turn it into a trilogy, like I hear the plan is, and they're going to Stranger Things it, where the kids are going to kind of grow up with the characters as the characters grow up, uh, I'm I'm in. I think that's going to be a great
Super cool.
dynamic. I think it's going to be good.
That's super cool. So we only have a few minutes left, but I want to talk about. So he Superfly turns into a giant. Apparently, did you see that in the trailer?
Probably did. I just didn't pick that up.
He's like bigger than yeah. He's like he's not Power Ranger size, but like maybe. I mean, he's bigger than cars. Like he's bigger than a semi. He lifts it up and throws it at the turtles. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Like if he becomes Superfly, or what. But it makes me wonder like
Superfly.
how are they gonna yeah Superfly. How are they gonna like? I wonder if they're gonna make like if Donatello's gonna make some kind of mech or something to fight this, or if they're gonna like God of War fight it and they're gonna have a giant creature they're gonna fight. I don't know, but it looks really interesting. But I wish they would have kept that reveal. Trailers are way too quick to spoil the entire movie, and I feel like this one's doing a good job of not doing that. But there are some scenes that I wish, like my buddy Ty, my partner YouTube partner, he doesn't watch trailers anymore because he says it gives it all away, and
I
even
agree.
like he wants to be completely fresh when he sees something, but like this is something I can't do that for. Like I just need to see this, but yeah, so he's a giant Superfly guy, and so I don't know if like more mutagen makes him grow or what, but yeah, he's huge in this trailer at the end, and um, so I don't know what where they're gonna go with that, but it does make me excited, like make me think more of what could be, which is either gonna set me up for like cool or like a disappointment that doesn't go the way my head canon goes.
Right. Yeah, my prediction is they're gonna come up with some kind of like dart or gun that's like a little tiny dart with whatever is going to shrink him in it. They're going to shoot it at him, and the metal's not going to pierce his his thorax. We'll say we shoot him in the thorax, and we'll shoot him inside of the neck or something. This isn't real anatomy here, for a fly, and it's just going to bend. They're going to have to try to figure something out. That's my prediction of what they'll probably have to figure out in that predicament.
Well, I don't really have a prediction for that yet, but I do have. If they're gonna go to the post-credit scene, I really hope that like they do a Thanos tease from Marvel movies, and they maybe like end with like a claw or something, or maybe Bebop and Rocksteady are the only villains left in the movie that are still staying true or something, and they go looking for somebody, and you just see them talking, but then you like see a claw come by or something.
All right,
I don't know. I
hear
hope.
me
I
hear
hope.
me out.
Go
Paramount
ahead.
better watch this. Here's what we're gonna do. The camera's gonna be looking out the window of a plane, right? And then it's just gonna slowly pan out, and then you see the reflection of Shredder's face in the glass because he's just on a plane because it's modern day, so he's just flying
Hilarious.
over. It just sounds stupid as shit.
That's hilarious.
He's just an economy with his like with his like cookies and water.
He's gotta like pull his mask down to get his pictures in. Yeah, but yeah, I think they will definitely tease at it, and it's interesting. Like, I wonder if they're gonna go Purple Dragon route at all, or if they're gonna go Foot Soldier route, or if they're even gonna like if it's a trilogy, where is it gonna go? Is it gonna end up with the Utroms and I don't know, but I do like that I do like that they're younger. They're like 13 teenagers. I do dig that because typically they've been predicted as, sorry, shown as older and older teenagers. So this is really just, I think it's fresh and exciting, and it doesn't seem like a lot of, like, we're using characters we're familiar with for the most part, but we're doing new things with them, and I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. For all we know, in this story timeline, Shredder's already there, Foot Clan's already there. They're just not prominent. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a possibility that they're already like it's because in if you think about it, they're a little bit younger, I'd say, than when we're used to seeing them. So in that idea, there's a possibility that this takes place before they learn about who Shredder is, and then Shredder might already be there as a possibility, and then recruits the henchmen that didn't turn over to good. You know what I mean? Like Bebop, Rocksteady, stuff like that. So that's just like a thought. That's a good, easy, plausible storyline. It technically takes place before the comic book continuity is created. Loosely, we're saying comic book because it's like a multiverse of Turtles at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, my excitement level is really high. I wish it wasn't in August. I wish it was a little closer, but we do have a lot of good movies coming out, like Spider-Verse to hold us over and things like that. So
Yeah, we got the summer to spend with our family. It'll be over in no time, as summer does in the Northeast.
I know. I need to stop whining about it. Summer is my favorite time of year.
What are you
So.
considered Midwest because you're Ohio?
We're Midwest, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Northeast, but yeah, our summers go by in a blink.
So quick. Yeah.
So before we wrap it up, we got a couple more minutes. I guess I'll hit some news. Some good news is make sure you're checking out Good News with April O'Neil. That's something that the TMNT Collector and Renee Jacobs have been doing on Instagram. I want to make sure that gets a lot of love. She does it over on Instagram in collaboration with Dave, which is pretty awesome. You usually check it out on either of their channels, but she just does good news. And it's pretty cool. It's fun. It's kind of bringing some light back into the world here with all this, negative nonsense. Battle Damage Shredder has been showing up at Meyer. If you live in the Midwest, don't have any here in New York, but Meyer, also known as Measure, as I used to call it for the longest time, because I don't have them in New York. So Battle Damage Shredders are hitting there for $35. What else happened? Oh, the the Ultimate Foot Soldier, the Mirage one. Someone just sold 2 of them on eBay today. I know someone who bought one, and those supposedly they ordered 2 of the black and white Foot Auto T turtles or Foot Soldiers turtles. Jesus. And Auto T sent this person to Ultimate Foot Soldiers. I don't believe it because they took the photo in their car. And they are when people are flipping stuff, they immediately gotta take a photo, put it up on eBay as fast as possible. They're telling everybody Auto T sent them. I think they're just using that as a way to like not hype it up so people go finding them. They want to keep them all to themselves in their area. It was in the Dallas area, Dallas, Texas. So that has also happened. And then we got a great review of that and the Jim Lawson Mirage Turtles coming out here soon from Anthony's Customs over on YouTube. We're not affiliated with them. Probably doesn't even know we exist. But go check them out for a okay review of them. Not crazy in depth, but you get to at least see what they look like because it's the first time we've physically seen them since Trevor showed off a sample a couple months ago, like January, I want to say. So
All those variant blues that are coming out with the Mirage
oh,
figures.
that too, yeah. So the blues are all different. You got your Loot Crate blue shredder, that's a dark blue. You've got your Ultimate Foot Soldier, that's kind of like a baby blue. It's kind of like it's almost purple. And then you've got the new Foot Enforcer. That's the other one. Foot Enforcer. That is like a mix of all different blues. It's a little bit darker blue as a base, but then it's got like the baby blue highlights on it. Those are available for pre-order at most retailers, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, or if you want to get it from the last toy store, I always link it below. You can get 10% off with our promo code. So you can go ahead and do that. We make no money off it. It's just something we did with them for fun. So make sure you pre-order them. They're due out between September and October of this year. Pretty cool figure. You're going to probably want to order 3. 3. So, Brandon, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Stepping in.
I am so happy to be here, and I will come whenever you want me.
Hell yeah. Well, we're going to try to do a little bit more of these as we've been slacking because I keep saying it every time we go live or I do something. We've been slacking. Life's just been busy. There's been family emergencies. Things happen, but we're still around. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us. Go ahead, do the comment, like, subscribe thing. Let us know what you think of the Mutant Mayhem trailer yourself. Try to be as positive as possible. If you did not like it, because we try to, preach the positivity, go check us out over on Facebook and the Party Wagon, or now on Twitter if you don't like Facebook. TMNT Party Wagon over on Twitter. I'm doing my best to keep that up to date with all the cool new things and news that go on in the Facebook group. So appreciate y'all, and I super appreciate you, Brandon, for jumping in.
Thank you. Check out High Anxiety on YouTube, and like I said, I have a Disney review coming up soon if you're into Disney at all. But lots of turtles and lots of dumb things. So
yes, I'll link it below, so it's easy to go to. Go subscribe.
all right, thanks,
Peace.
Gary. Thanks, Party Wagon crew.